ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ श्रीमेधा दक्षिणामूर्ति स्वामिने नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। Namaste once again, those who have joined now.
Hari Om Guruji.
Hari Om. Namaste. Aham brahmeti vijnanat kalpakoti shatarjitam sanchitam vilayam yati prabodha swapna karmavat. So after discussing the Jivan Mukta Phalam and having concluded the topic with verse number 90, the Acharya now turns to another topic, another Phalam in the form of Videha Mukti. Videha Mukti is a discussion on what happens to a Jnani at the time of his physical death, that is on the fall of his body. And as I was mentioning in the last class, this Videha Mukti topic requires some background information, especially knowledge of law of karma, which is a very important aspect of the Vedic teaching. It's a unique aspect only related to our culture, our religion. And as we saw, the word karma is used in two contexts. One meaning of karma is any action, kayika, vachika, manasa actions rather, undertaken by any human being using his or her free will. So this is one definition of karma. And very important here to note is that the action has to be performed by use of free will. And that is why, even in law, etc., if somebody's action is influenced or he does an action under some pressure or some undue influence, then the law does not recognize that action as a valid action because there is no free will involved. And that is why also animals and plants do not have any free will, and only humans are endowed with this faculty of free will. The actions of animals and even plants, they are driven by instincts. Now you may ask, what action do the plants do? That you have to go. There are some plants where you go and touch them, the plant or a leaf or the water flower close on your finger. So there are plants which do a lot of actions. but they don't have free will. For example, the sunflower. When the sun is rising, the face of the flower will be towards the sun. It turns towards the sun. It's an action, but no free will. And therefore, the actions done by animals, plants do not come under the ambit of the law of karma. So this is one aspect of law of karma that we saw. Secondly, the law of karma says that every action that a person does will produce two types of results called karma phalam. One result of action is the visible result, which we can see and experience directly. And in Sanskrit, it is called drashta phalam. Purely based on the physical action that we do. Drashta means that which can be seen. Drashta, drishta, you can say anything. That which can be seen. But we know that behind every action which is visible, there is an invisible motive also. And that motive will also produce a result which has to be invisible, because invisible motive will only have to produce in a proportionate result which is invisible. And this invisible result is called adrishta phalam. Therefore, all actions produce two types of results, drishta phalam and adrishta phalam. And since the motive of any action can be positive or negative, the adrishta phalam also can be either positive or negative. The positive adrishta phalam is called punyam and negative adrishta phalam is called papam. And therefore, depending upon our motive or intention for every action that we do, we gather punyam and papam. So these invisible results are stored, as I said, in karana shariram, the causal body. Now, this punyam and papam, which are the adrishta phalam, get accumulated in the name of the jiva. Every jiva has got a karma account. So these are like debits and credits which get accumulated in one bank's account. And this punyam and accumulated punyam and papam later get converted into visible and unhappy, visible happy and unhappy situations. Visible and unhappy experiences. Punyam gets converted into favorable experiences and papam gets converted into unfavorable experiences. So thus every punyam and papam is an invisible seed of future pleasure and pain. To express this in Sanskrit, adrishta punyam sukham dadati, adrishta papam dukkham dadati. Now the next question that many of us have got: how long do this punyam and papam take to get converted into pleasure and pain? How long will the seed take to fructify into sukham and dukkham? And the scriptures point out that this period is not uniform. It is just like, all types of seeds. I mean, the plant seeds, they do not take the same amount of time to become a tree and fructify. A papaya seed will quickly grow into a tree and we can get the papaya fruit in a short time. Whereas a mango or a coconut seed may perhaps take years to grow into a tree and give us the fruits. Sometimes, it may be it is possible that the benefit will not accrue to the generation which is planting, but only to the next generation. Thus, the duration of fructification will vary from seed to seed. Some of them may fructify tomorrow, Some of them may fructify next week, next month, next year, next decade, next century, etc. And some punyam and papam may not fructify in this janma or birth. It has to, another janma birth has to be taken for that. And why is that? It is because any seed to fructify requires a favorable and conducive atmosphere. Like, even in the case of plants, a seed can grow into a plant only when the soil is proper, water is available, temperature is appropriate, the minerals are there in the soil, the elevation of the land is proper. So many factors are there. And therefore, some punya and papa or papas may not fructify in this birth. They will remain in a potential form and will require another birth for fructification. Not only another birth, that birth could be human birth, animal birth, plant birth. So even the nature of the body that we are going to get in the future births depends upon which punyam and which papam are going to fructify. And all the unfructified punyam and papam earned and accumulated in several births, they are called sanchita karma. It's just like, fixed deposits. You have go on saving some small amounts in your savings account, and one fine day there's a large amount, and that is converted into fixed deposit in the bank. Similarly, we have punya and papa also accumulated over a few janmas, and the unfructified punya papa at the end of a particular birth, whatever balances are there, including the balances gathered in the past lives and brought forward to this life, they are all accumulated in an account called Sanchita Karma account. Sanchita means accumulated. Now suppose out of the Sanchita or accumulated karma, one portion is ready for fructification in the present life. They have just completed their gestation period. It's just like again, maturity of various fixed deposits over different periods of time. Similarly, the different fixed deposits of punya and papa mature at different times. So a bunch of sanchita karma which is mature and ready to fructify in the present birth, that bunch is called prarabdha karma. So prarabdha karma means maturing sanchita karma, fructifying sanchita karma. And it is this prarabdha karma alone decides what type of body we should get in the present birth. If it is a punya prarabdham, the body will be a very favorable body, including human body or the body of a devata, etc. Celestial body. Even if you are going to get an animal body, let's say a body of a dog, again there could be differences. You could be a dog in some film star's house. I mean, enjoying a luxury which even the servants in the film star's house will not enjoy. Or you could be a street dog scavenging for food. So even if you are a plant body, animal body, human body, there could be favorable and unfavorable bodies rather. And all this is decided by prarabdha karma. Even if it is a human body, the prarabdha karma determines whether it should be a male or a female body. And even after the gender selection, whether the body should be a healthy one or have some congenital diseases is again determined by the fructifying prarabdha. And not only that, this prarabdha alone determines the parentage, the place of birth, whether one is born in a rich family or a poor family. What are the vasanas which that body requires? So it's a very complicated system. All of them come together and then we take birth. And after birth also, every movement of the life is controlled by this prarabdha. And while we are thus exhausting the prarabdham, reaping the sukha dukkha experiences, we keep on doing karma, isn't it? And these present actions that we are doing now will also produce fresh punyam and papam. And this freshly acquired punyam and papam in this birth, this freshly augmented and replenished punyam and papam is called agami karma. So agami means the punyam and papam which are acquired in this janma, in this birth. And this agami punya papam also will be partly exhausted in this birth itself. Because some agamis can fructify in this birth. But the other agami karmas, which will not fructify because of conditions are not conducive for fructification, these unfructified agami will continue to remain in our account, and at the time of death of the body, they will get accumulated or added to the sanchita karma balance. So, if you look at it, we will exhaust our prarabdha karma and a part of our agami karma during this life. And when prarabdha and the fructified part of agami are exhausted, the body falls. And this is because the very purpose of the body is exhaustion of these karmas. And once the prarabdha and a part of agami end and the body falls, the other part of agami which could not fructify at the time of death, as I said, will join the sanchita bundle. And again out of that pool of sanchita, another bunch of karma get ready for fructification. It's like a next fixed deposit is ready for maturity. Which karmas are ready to mature and which one are not, we can never say, we can never know. Unpredictable. But one thing is certain, all karmas will eventually fructify. So the next bunch of prarabdha gives another body. And in that body, those prarabdha gets exhausted. And if it happens to be a human body, during the process of this exhaustion, we replenish the stock with fresh karmas. Again, the part will go to Sanchitam. We will have another birth. Like this cycle goes on. That is what scriptures say. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. So the whole purpose of taking birth is exhaustion of these papas. These karmas rather, not punya and papa both. In this manner, these karmas get exhausted, replenished, and again exhausted, again replenished, and the cycle goes on. This is the lot of an ajnani or a samsari. He is caught in this vicious cycle. And we must remember that this law of karma gets attracted only when the human beings do action using their free will. And therefore, the results of these actions in the form of punya or papa accrue only because of our own actions in the past. They are not handed out to us by Bhagavan or some other entity. Our own actions, this is the seeds that we have planted in our past births. Through right action, wrong action, dharmic action, adharmic action, which we don't remember, we cannot recall them. So if you are faced with a prabala prarabdha, some very great difficulty in your life, remember, you can't blame anybody for that. If at all you have to blame somebody, you have to blame yourself, your past birth. You don't know what body, it has to be human body, obviously. What all you did in that human body, you don't know. Maybe in your past birth, you were part of the Duryodhana's team, doing lot of adharmic actions, you don't know. And to exhaust that papam, you are born here. Now, again take human birth and you suffer the consequences of what you did as a part of Duryodhana's team. Or maybe in one of your past births, you were part of the army of Ravana. You are part of the team of Ravana which kidnapped Sita. So, we don't know. Anything is possible. But one thing is sure, if you are having very pleasurable, happy experiences in this life, that is because you did some punya karma, some good thing you have done in the past. And if you have undergoing some, unhappy situations, that means you have done some papa, some adharmic karmas in the past life. They are now mature for you to, I would put it, suffer the consequences of your own action. And this is a very important takeaway from the law of karma. It helps us in two ways. The first thing is you will stop blaming others for your situation. You will not blame Bhagavan. Oh, Bhagavan is very partial. He doesn't open his eyes and see me. 24/7, Bhagavan is seeing everybody. Because he is what? Sakshi Chaitanyam. Nobody can escape from the sight of Bhagavan. And he is all pervading also. Everywhere he is there. So Bhagavan is seeing, so that need not be a complaint. Second takeaway is it is not Bhagavan handing over all these happy, unhappy experiences based on his own whims and fancies. Bhagavan has got your account completely. Whatever you have deposited, that is what you will get. So this is one very first takeaway. So whatever experiences that we have is because of our own action. And the second takeaway is that our birth, the purpose of our birth, why am I born? The answer scripture says only to exhaust your own punya papa. So we suffer the consequences of our own actions of the past. And of course, the intentions behind those actions will determine whether the action is a punya action or a papam action. Even if you have caused hurt to somebody with the good intention of helping that person, it will be, even though there is violence involved, it will be punya action. We have seen all these things in great details in Tattva Bodha and all. I don't want to repeat it in this context again, the whole thing. And as a human being, now the punishments also, I would probably say the unpleasant experiences. Because suppose in the society we live in, we commit a grave crime. And the courts of police, they will take you to the court and the court will give you a punishment. Today we are seeing so many such punishments being handed out to so many politicians, isn't it? What is the punishment? Put you in jail. What is the jail means? Jail, putting you in jail means curbing your freedom. You have no choice. All your choices are curbed, restrained. So, similarly, as a human being, if I misuse my free will and then engage myself in all adharmic actions, Bhagavan also gives a punishment to clamp my free will. And Bhagavan clamps the free will by giving a non-human birth. He will take away the free will because you misused your free will and you went against the dharmic values. So I will punish you by taking away your free will, by giving you a birth of an animal or a plant. In case of an animal, at least, even though free will is taken away, your movement is not restricted. You can go around. Whereas if you are born as a plant, even your movement is restricted. You have no defense against other people coming and trying to cut you. Take away all the fruits. If you are a fruit bearing tree, take away all the, if you are a fruit bearing tree, mind you, you cannot enjoy the fruit that you are bearing. Not only that, other people will take that away. If you have in your past but been a total lot of wealth but total miser, you will not part with a dime to anybody. But you have earned a lot of money. Probability that karma's result is you are born as some mango tree, big tree, you bear lot of fruits, but you will not be able to enjoy them. Not only that, you will be forced to give all the fruits away to other people, whether it is birds or human beings or even sometimes animals. This is all. I mean, if we are just give it a little thought, we will be able to see what, if not exact karma, what type of karmas it could have been by observing all these things in the nature. So Bhagavan has got his own way. Law of karma has got its own way of clamping down on your free will and imprisoning you in a non-human body. And this karma is a very powerful force because karma determines or influences all the events in the individual's life. And also, there is something called, Vyashti karma, individual punya papa. There is also something called samashti karma. And it is the creation itself is because for all jivas to exhaust their karmas. So the samashti karma will determine when the origin of the universe has to take place, the lifespan of the universe, even the resolution of the universe. Every cosmic phenomenon as well as individual phenomenon is governed by the law of karma, the force of karma. If you ask Bhagavan, why did you create this world or why did you create me? He will say karma, one word answer. Why do you cause corona? He will answer karma. The karma determines or influences all phenomenon, individual as well as cosmic. At the time of every srishti, the type of sukshma shariram that we get is determined by the punya papam stored in the karana sharira. They decide our sukshma shariram during every srishti. And during every birth, the type of stula shariram we get is determined by the stored punya papam, the unfolding punya papam stored in the karana shariram. Thus, sukshma shariram, its journey while living, its journey after death, stula shariram, the physical body, and its journey up to death, all of them are determined by punya, papam, or karma. And if you ask why is it so, Bhagavan will say, he'll give you only one answer, don't blame me. It is all your own doing. You alone are responsible for all your situations. All that I am doing is I have got all the record of whatever you have done. I am only karma phala data. I am sitting like a Supreme Court judge. This is the crime and this is the punishment which the law of karma says. Just I hand it over to you. That's it. I am a fair and just God. I don't have any preferences. I don't have any favorites. And I am not at all partial. This is what Bhagavan will say. But if you say Bhagavan, but I don't know what action will produce punyam and what action will produce papam, Bhagavan will just tell you one of the fundamental principles of law. Ignorance of law is no excuse for non-compliance with the law. You go to the court and tell the same thing here. I was ignorant that such a law exists. The judge will say your ignorance is of no excuse. You are committed, you are not complied with the law, so the punishment you will get. And Bhagavan will further add. He will say, I have given the humans a manual in the form of Veda at the beginning of the creation. And it was for you to study and follow the instructions given therein. If you had done that, then you would not have been in this situation now. Because you failed to do that. You have given yourself this situation. It's just like, we have got a lot of laws, constitution, everything is there. You may not be a legal expert, but at least what are the essentials you should know. For example, there is a signal, the traffic lights are there. Everybody, anybody who is having a license to drive a vehicle knows that if it is a red signal, one has to stop. You don't need to be a lawyer or learn law for all that reason. You know that you should not hurt anybody. It is a criminal offense to beat up somebody or to, hurt somebody. You know that. So you can't say, no, no, I did it because I didn't know there was a law prohibiting that. There is no need for a law. And therefore, the humans alone are responsible for the punya papam. Everything is thus governed by punyam and papam, which human beings cannot see. But Bhagavan can see with his Maya Shakti, and that is how he maintains the record also. Rather. And in our life also, there are so many good events happen. For each one, we don't have any logical explanation. We may not know the cause. We just call it good luck or good fortune. Somebody wins a lottery 10 crores, Why? I mean, the only action he has done in this birth is buying the lottery ticket. Obviously, because without buying the ticket, you will not get the prize. But why you got the prize is because why? People will you may say luck, fortune, and all, but it is nothing but invisible punyam unfolding. Similarly, right through life, there will be many events unfolding which cause intense suffering. All the time, why me? Why me is the question. We cannot explain why we go through these and ask why me? Why not my neighbor? So, whenever why me comes, whenever we get angry with God, whenever we doubt the sense of justice of Bhagavan, whenever we feel Bhagavan is unfair, at all those times, a Vaidika understands that it is all because of the papam which I have gathered in my immediate past or a remote past. Some of that are unfolding. We cannot blame anyone. There is a beautiful Subhashitam. Sukhasya dukkhasya kopi na data parodadati iti kubuddiresha aham karomiti vrithabhimanah swakarma sutro gratito hi lokah. So even if you find that there is somebody who is causing harm to you, causing the mental depression to you, understand that the world and the people are only the instruments, the nimittam for dealing out the results of karma, my own karma, to give me pleasure and pain. Because karma, the punyam and papam, while unfolding, cannot give pleasure and pain directly. They require a medium to deliver, a dispenser. And the world and the people, even family members, are dispensers of sukham and dukkham, which our own karma brings forth. And therefore, a Vaidika who has got Shraddha in the scriptures, bhakti in him, he will neither blame God nor will he be shaken by the sufferings in life. As it is said, as you sow, so you reap. A Vaidika understands. So he will never blame anybody, including God. And he will also be having the appropriate attitude toward whatever happens in his life. And therefore, it is very important that we should learn the law of karma in the beginning stages of life itself. Because suppose somebody is having a lot of suffering and you go and try to tell him that it is all because of your own doing in the past birth, how will that person feel? This law of karma is not for the purpose of pointing out why people suffer or why some people are enjoying or have pleasure. If you go and point out to some fellow, he will get more angry. And therefore, this law of karma should be taught to us, or we should learn it at a very early stage in life. We should have already prepared ourselves, internalize the law of karma. We should be clear. Sufferings do not come randomly. There is a pattern, there is a reason. And it is, in fact, for this purpose only people adopt, they take their horoscope to a astrologer and try to read what has been the past and things like that and all. Even an astrologer may not be able to tell you what kind of a papam you did. You may say that your horoscope is showing some unfavorable actions on your part. What are those? He will not be able to tell you. He may be able to just indicate that you should do this pariharam or this kind of a prayashchittam and all that. Krishna says in the Gita, Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshyosti na priyaha. I am same to all. Bhagavan is impartial. I have no hatred, nor nobody is gets hatred from me, nor anybody is very, very dear to me. Samaha aham sarva bhuteshu, for all beings. Samaha, I am the same. Equanimity towards all human beings. All beings are. So the law of karma, the law of punya papam unfolds every moment. Even minor things like I get up with a backache, even when I have done no apatyam, no mistake I have done. But morning when I get up, I have a backache, I have got a knee pain. Because this is very common, I mean, I don't know why I am doing all this. I have been a very nice person throughout my life. I've never done anything, never wished ill for anybody. My habits have been totally clean. I've regularly gone to the temples. I've got faith in God. Even after all this, why does Bhagavan give me such a situation? Doesn't he have eyes and ears? Why doesn't he listen to my prayers? If only we know the law of karma, we will accept that we cannot get things done merely by asking God. We can get things done only by karma. We can only seek karma phalam from Bhagavan, not any favors from Bhagavan. We can ask, hey Bhagavan, whatever karma phalam is due to me, please give it to me. Not the phalam that I desire, but the phalam that I deserve. So whenever we are going to a temple, whenever we are praying, whenever we are asking favors from God, we must remember the law of karma. God doesn't conform to my raga dvesha. God only conforms to one's punya papa karmani. If I know this and accept this, my faith and reverence for God will never diminish. Whatever be the ups and downs that I go through in life. Therefore, this law of karma is very, very important part which we should learn as early as possible in our life. And there are two types of law of karma. This is a very important thing to note. One is the general law of karma, which is applicable to all the Ajnani jivas. this is, we should, this additional point that I am giving you, remember, you must keep it in the back of your mind. Because this is important to understand the law of karma applicable to the jnanis. For them, the law of karma has got special section called jnani section. So the jnani who attains videha mukti, the law of karma, how it operates, is governed by the special section of the law of karma, not the general one, which is there for all ajnanis. So therefore, before entering the special law of karma applicable for a jnani, we first try to understand the general law of karma, because that is what is applicable to all of us. But then, since we will become jnanis at some point in time, we are already set out on the path. We will reach the goal. We will reach the Paramapadam. So it is important for us to know the special law of karma applicable for the jnanis. And throughout this discussion, we must remember karma doesn't here refer to the action, but to the result of action. Karma phalam, the invisible karma phalam in the form of punyam and papam. That is what whenever we say karma, 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 we are referring to that punya, invisible punya papam, giving its results. So here the word karma we must understand as karma phalam, which is adrishta punya papam. So whenever the words sanchita karma, agami karma, etc. are used, you should immediately in your mind translate karma as invisible punya papa. I mean, law of karma, one can go on and on and on. But somewhere or the other, we are all exposed to this law of karma. But some points which were important, I thought I will give it as a background before we take up this sloka on the karma phala or the law of karma applicable to the jnanis to understand the sloka. So now we will turn our attention to the special law of karma when jnanam comes into the picture. And Shankaracharya presents this special law in verses 91 and 92, where he takes up the Sanchita karma of a jnani. As we saw, our Sanchita karmas, they are always there. From birth after birth, we keep accumulating and it gets added to our Sanchita karma account. It never gets exhausted. So the huge accumulated, almost infinite punya papams, they are all stored in our karna sharira. There is no limit. I mean, you may have a hard drive which has got some 4 GB, 8 GB, 32 GB and all limits. Our Karna Shariram is a hard drive which has got no limit. You can go on adding it. That is why, at the end of each birth of a jiva, the Stula Shariram goes away. Sukshma Shariram and Karana Shariram travel to take another body. And at the end of one cycle, one kalpa, which is 2000 Chatur Yuga, there is a Mahapralaya. When the whole universe dissolves, time dissolves, space dissolves, everything resolves into Ishvara. At that time, the Sukshma Shariram also gets dissolved. but our Karana Shariram will be there, and it will be moved to the Maya of Ishvara. And in that Karana Shariram, the Jiva's infinite Sanchita karmas will be there. And in fact, that is the very basis for the next Srishti itself. As I told you a while ago. And that is why in our culture, in Hinduism, creation is not a one-time event. It's a cyclical process. Srishti, Sthiti, Layam. Again, Srishti, Sthiti, Layam. Bhagavan Krishna says in the 15th chapter of Gita, Na rupam asyeha tatopalabhyate nanto na chadirna chat sampratishta. Na antah na adihi na sampratishta. Creation is a cyclical process because Sanchitam continues in our Karana Shariram even during Pralayam. So, what is new? What is the difference for a Jnani? Shankaracharya says the entire Sanchita karma of a Jnani is demolished, destroyed, eliminated in one sweep by Jnana. And that is what is said in the 91st sloka. Aham brahmeti vijnanat. Vijnanat, the knowledge, by knowing what Brahman is everything and I am that Brahman. Aham Brahma iti vijnanat. So it is a knowledge which goes beyond the knowledge that Brahman is great or Brahman is sarvavyapi, Brahman is Satyaman, Jnanam Anantam, etc. So the initial knowledge is everything is Brahman. But that is not complete knowledge. Even the knowledge that everything is God is not complete knowledge. It is only Paroksha Jnanam. And which is what is accepted by Visishta Advaitam. And which is also practiced by a Karma Yogi. Karma Yogi knows everything is God. He is still not a Jnani. But when we come to Jnana Yoga, we don't stop with saying everything is God. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. We don't stop saying that. We say Brahman is everything. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. And then we go on to say Aham Brahmasmi. I am that Brahman. Therefore, I am everything. Everything is Brahman. I am that Brahman and I am therefore everything. Aham Brahmeti Vijnanat. And when I say I am everything, I have woken up to my super waker nature. The Chandogya Upanishad says, Ahankara Ahankara Desha Eva Ahameva Adastaham Uparishtadaham Pashyadaham Purastadaham Dakshinatoham Uttaratoham Evedam Sarvamiti. Aham. I am everything. I am the Ahankara. What all is below Aham, what is up is me. What is in east to the right is me. What is to the left is me. What is in front is me. What is in back is me. I am everything. Eva idam sarvamiti. So aham brahma within inverted commas iti vijnanat. So through Mahavakya Vichara, when I discover Sanchitam Vilayam Yati, Sanchita Karma Vilayam Yati, dissolves, disappears. Who, for whom? For a Jnani. When Aham Brahmeti Vijnanat. The moment one knows that I am everything, I am Brahman. All Sanchita Karma gets dissolved or they disappear. And what kind of Sanchitam? He says, Kalpa Koti Shata Arjitam. Kalpa Koti Shata. Just imagine. The Sanchitam earned and accumulated in hundreds of crores of Kalpa, eliminated in one stroke of knowledge. And as I said, a Kalpa is 1 day of Brahmaji, Chaturmukha Brahmaji. And 1 day of Brahmaji, one Kalpa is 2000 Chatur Yuga. What is 2000 Chatur Yuga? 864 crore years. Because one Chatur Yuga, one Yuga cycle is 43 lakhs 20,000 years. Present Yuga, which is Kali Yuga, its life, shelf life is 4 lakh 32,000 years. And mind you, we have only covered 5,000 odd years in that. So 2000 Chatur Yuga is 864 crore years. So you can calculate how many years it will be in Kalpakoti Shatam. One Kalpa is 864 crore years. So Kotisha, 100 crore Salva Kalpas, how much? We will not be able to calculate. That is why we say a Jiva is Anadi. We don't know the beginning at all. The entire creation is Anadi. We don't know when it all started. You can't even take a guess. So, Kalpakoti Shatarjitam Sanchitam Vilayam Yati. All that huge baggage of karma is just eliminated in one stroke of knowledge. This is the benefit of Jnana. And our first response will be what? That's too incredible, unbelievable, I say. We will not be able to swallow such things. How is it possible? But we must remember, whatever teaching Vedanta gives is based on three pramanams. Shruti pramanam, Yukti pramanam and Anubhava pramanam. Of course, Shankaracharya doesn't mention the Shruti here in this shloka. But we must note that Shruti is the primary pramanam. Vedanta, entire Vedanta is Shruti based. And then once we understand what the Shruti says, we supplement that understanding by giving appropriate Yukti Pramanam. Shruti Sammata Yukti. A reason which will go with the Shruti revelation. Shruti Sammata Yukti. So what is the Shruti or Veda Pramanam? There is a famous verse in Mundakopanishad. विद्यते हृदय गंति ही छिद्यन्ते सर्व संशयाः क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि तस्मिन् दृष्टे परावरे क्षीयन्ते च अस्य कर्माणि क्षीयन्ते especially sanchita karmani क्षीयन्ते means perish, all of them perish. And Bhagavan Krishna repeats it in Bhagavad Gita also, 4th chapter. Gita students can recall. Yataidhamsi samiddognihi basmasat kuruterjuna jnanagnihi sarvakarmani basmasat kurute tata. Just as a huge fire, a forest fire or a bush fire, which is now taking place everywhere. We read how thousands of crores of forests and buildings it swallows in minutes, aided by the winds. Similarly, aided by Shravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasanam, Jnanam, which has been well fed and has therefore become a huge configuration, as it were, that Jnanagni, Edhamsi Samiddaha. Because the fuel for our birth itself is these karmas. They fuel our births. They fuel all our experiences. Jnanagni sarvakarmani basmasat kurute. Jnanam can destroy all sanchita karmas. It has that power. And this is the Shruti Pramanam. We'll stop here, continue in the next class. Okay. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnad Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
धन्यवाद.
धन्यवाद है. Thank you very much. Hari Om.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी. हरि ओम.
Hari Om.
Thank you very much, Guruji. Pranam. Namaste. Thank you very much.
Pranam. Namaste.
Thank you, Guruji. Hari Om. Thank you.
Yes, Satya, what is your question?
Yes, Guruji. Again, thank you for the wonderful session, Guruji. I just have one question, Guruji. So I have always had this question for a very long time. So when we actually say that for a jnani, so the sanchita papam actually goes away, becomes obsolete, do we actually say it symbolically that any kind of karma doesn't actually affect them anymore? Or is it that when they attain jnana, they stop experiencing things itself, Guruji? So when we say that sanchita karma is gone, at what level are we saying this, Guruji?
See, Sanchita karma is that at that point in time, whatever was in the Sanchita account goes away.
Okay.
Now there are two more remaining.
Okay.
It's
The
Prarabdha karma.
right, Guruji.
That doesn't go away. That will continue even for a jnani till his body falls.
Beautiful. Okay.
Because
Okay.
Prarabdha karma governs the present life.
Right, Guruji.
As long as that is there in the body, life is there, the Prarabdha karma will continue. Jnani will have all the happy occasions and also, unpleasant experiences because of that.
Right, Guruji.
The karma, nobody wants it. It is like an arrow which has been shot. Once the arrow is shot, nobody can stop it.
Right, Guruji.
Even Bhagavan
Right.
cannot stop it.
Right.
But agami karma. Now what happens? There are two types of agami karmas.
Right, Guruji.
One is the agami karma which the jnani has accumulated in this birth till the time of.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Another is agami karma that he will accumulate because of his actions after jnanam.
Right. Right.
Now what happens to these two type of karmas?
Right, Guruji.
The Shastra says at the time of jnanam, it is just like, closing the account.
Okay. Okay.
So whatever agami karmas are there in his account, the punya papam, which are not yet exhausted,
Okay. Okay.
at the time of jnanam,
Right.
will get added to the sanchita karma, and with that it will get destroyed.
Destroyed. Okay. Okay.
So the agami karma before jnanam gets destroyed.
Right.
Then what happens to agami karma after jnanam? There is no agami punya papa after jnanam, because after jnanam, he knows that I am akarta.
Right. So there is no responsibility of taking any karta to.
I mean, whatever he does, he knows that I am not doing it.
Right.
It is my body mind complex doing it.
Right.
So what will happen? Even if they are giving punya papam,
Right.
and if there are that punya papam are going to fructify in this life itself,
Right.
that part of agami karma will give him the results of that punya papam.
Right.
And whatever agami karma he does after jnanam, that will again get added to the sanchita karma. And on
Right.
the bell ringing, the death of the jnani, everything will get completely exhausted.
There is. Okay.
Prarabdha gone, sanchitam gone, agami gone, everything gone.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
jnani doesn't have rebirth. There is no karma to give him rebirth. That is what
Okay.
will say in the next few slokas. He will say Jivan Mukti is one aspect. What is Videha Mukti? Means that he is completely freed from this karma cycle.
Right. Right.
That
So
is
since he's free from karma cycle, there is no necessity or there is no purpose of having a next birth, and therefore
there is
the birth stops.
not purpose. Yeah, you can say purpose. There is nothing triggering a birth.
Triggering. Yes, Guruji. Right.
Birth will not happen at all, because there is no
Right.
karma. Birth
Right.
happens because of karma. There is no karma, so no birth.
Right. Right.
That is Videha Mukti. That is the final moksha.
Right.
So we can see moksha in two angles. One is while living, you get moksha
Right.
from all the sufferings and all that. At least you are emotionally, you have become a free person,
Right.
understanding all the teaching.
Right.
But there is still what is remaining as a part of samsara. Now only one samsara is gone. The other samsara is still there, which is rebirth samsara.
Right. Right.
So at the time of death, that also goes away.
Goes away.
He
Okay.
becomes totally mukta.
Okay. Okay.
Which is what, symbolically we say individual merges with the total or
Right.
merges with the cosmic. There is no merger and all that, right? Well, merger
Right.
will be only if they're separate, they become merged.
Separate entities, right, Guruji?
But Jnani knows I am not
Yeah.
separate entity. I am Ishvara, I am Brahman. So where is the question of merger?
Right. In the level of Bhaktism, there are two entities and we can merge into God. But when we actually take Advaita Vedanta, there is no two entities. Right.
No dual entity.
Right.
That is why
Right.
Jivan Mukti is important, because that time only you come to know that there is no dual entity.
Yes, right, Guruji.
Right.
Right.
So everything else is just appearance, only mithya.
Right.
What
Right.
appears as entity is only mithya.
Right. Right. Thanks a lot, Guruji. Hari Om, Guruji. Thank you.
Hari Om. Thank you. Thank you. Hari Om.
Guruji, in
Yes.
the next birth, even if you have to be born as a, say, animal, it reminds me of Keshavan Guruvayur.
Yeah.
How lucky he was.
Exactly. Exactly.
And they say that all Guruvayur Ekadashi, I believe he used to fast.
Yeah. Exactly.
That
So
means
see,
when
we look
he was
around,
divine.
all these things we will get enough evidence in our life. Only you have to look around and understand what is going on, isn't it?
Correct.
That's very, very important. I mean, I am watching that one 7-year-old boy from Cochin, in this what is a super singer, some competition in there. Boy sings all these songs so beautifully, I mean, I'm told that he just practices for 2 days and he comes on the stage and sings that song.
He is some prodigy.
Exactly. So that is that is again shows that this is not something that he has learned in these 7 years in this life. He is bringing those samskaras with him from past life, and that's why he is able to do it. So as you said, Guruvayur, that elephant, Keshavan. So many examples. All that we need to look around is see what is all there, what is going on in this world, and it will be we may not be able to explain logically, but then we will be able to explain it scripturally, because this is all said in the scriptures.
True, true.
Even Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi,
Mm.
he has acquired all his, because in this Janma, as we have all seen, he did not have any big guru. He did not go through Sravanam, Mananam, Nidhyasanam, etc. Very young age itself, he went to this, what is that?
Tiruvannamalai.
Tiruvannamalai. And he was a hermit rather, right from that, right? So somebody asked him, you don't have a guru and all, but Shastra says you must learn it only from a guru and all. How did you learn all this? He gave a simple answer. What do you know about my past life?
Mm.
I must have learned everything, but there was some karma left for which I had to take a birth.
Okay.
I had to actually exhaust that karma in this life, and then only I will get Videha Mukti.
Mm.
So that purpose I have taken birth. That's all.
Adi Shankara, did he have a guru?
Adi Shankara had a guru, Gaudapadacharya.
Okay.
Not Gaudapadacharya. Gaudapadacharya's Sishya was Adi Shankara's guru, Govindapadacharya.
Okay.
Yeah, Adi Shankara had a guru and he learned from. In fact, after Govindapadacharya, he sent him to other gurus, learned this from him, learned this from him. So Adi Shankara had many gurus, but his main guru was Govindapadacharya. Yeah. So,
Great.
if we know the history and look around and all that, all these things become. I mean, our faith in Shastra and what the Shastra says only increases by leaps and bounds rather.
True,
Everything is true. Satya, everything is. That is what it is. Yeah. Okay.
Great.
Yes, Giriji.
Very good. Thank you very much, Guruji.
Hari Om.
Namaskaram.
Hari Om, Guruji.
Hari Om.
As usual, one of the outstanding session, particularly regarding the law of karma. We get to hear about karmas being told by many people, bits and pieces, but you have taken it appropriately and very convincingly. And though my rest of family members, they are not very much into spiritual, but I want to make them sit and hear this. What is the fundamental cause of our life and how do we take it? At least the basic thing we do not know, and we all claim ourselves that we are somebody big. This
Yeah.
is what happening in the entire world now. Okay, but this will definitely, if they have some sort of inclination, I am sure that it will make them some changes. Okay,
Very
I
true.
mean,
No. The basic change we require is whatever we undergo, whether it is good or bad, acceptance.
Correct.
When we accept it, that okay, this is, I can't avoid this. That itself gives you a great relief. Otherwise, your mind is always looking, why is this happening to me? Who is responsible for that? How do I take revenge against that person? All
Yeah.
these things go. But once you understand law of karma and accept it, I have no escape from this. The only way I can probably reduce the negative impact is by doing good karmas in this life, by actually, praying to Bhagavan to please, I've got all my account. Can you do little readjustment so that my suffering is not too great? Some relief you please give me, Bhagavan. That much you can pray. Whether Bhagavan does it or doesn't do it, it is a different thing. But
Correct.
by our action in the present Janma, by doing some prayaschitta karmas, etc., maybe some aspects or some negative effects of the previous karmas can be mitigated, if not completely removed. We can reduce the effect. That is the only thing we can do.
And also when we talk about the knowledge, okay, now every one of us knows that finally it's moksha and it is Brahman. We are also Brahman, but the journey is translating this knowledge into our actions also. Otherwise, no meaning at all.
No,
I know it.
Everything has got to have practical application for us day-to-day living.
Absolutely.
Then only it will make any sense.
Correct.
So what happens that those people who are in this path, Advaita Vedantic path, they have appreciated this, and that is why they are come here and they are continuing with this spiritual path.
Very
And
good.
as you are rightly saying, the least that we can do, if we are not able to reach out to the larger public and all, at least our family people, if we make them understand, then within the family there will be a lot of harmony. Everybody will understand each other. Nobody will blame others. "Oh, you did this to me, you did not." Children normally, they have got this problem. As a parent, you could have done so many things for us and you didn't do for us. Eh? So we can, if we explain this, we'll say that in nothing, we could not have done anything. Even God cannot do anything. What you are because of your own past karmas. Accept that.
And at least in future, you are paving a way for them to clear the hurdle and take a dharmic path. That's all.
Exactly. So that is what you do. So these are the practical benefits of all these things. I mean, it is not just some theoretical thing. Okay, I am Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. So what they will say? I am Ganapathy, you are Brahman. So what? It's not giving a new name to ourselves, but practice. That is why Bhagavad Gita is an excellent thing. Bhagavad Gita is giving all practical. Gita, full 15 chapters, Bhagavan deals. Of course, he doesn't go into too much details, right? Because again, people who are in the Bhagavad Gita level are not reached the Advaita level. Bhagavad Gita, that is why it tries to, satisfy all kinds of people, all kinds of beliefs. It's that way, but focuses more on practically what you should do on a day-to-day.
Yes, which we come
Forget
across
all
daily.
the Aham Brahmasmi or Visishta Advaitam and all, forget all that. Right? Focus on day-to-day basis. What is your problem? Identify what your problem is. Address that problem. What are the solutions for that problem? Gita gives you the manual. So even if you don't want to go to Upanishads and things like that and all, if you have actually studied Gita and completely digested Gita, you will be like a moksha purusha only. So that is all. That's how we have to look at all the scriptures and everything.
It's a journey to realize the truth. Otherwise, we are in darkness only. That acknowledgement itself is enough.
That itself is enough. Absolutely, you have said it in very nicely. Realize the truth. What is the truth of this entire cosmos? That we have to understand. And these are all, the journey is all meant for that only.
Excellent. Thank you. Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om. Thank you very much. Hari Om. Anybody else? Any other question? Doesn't look like. Okay, I will then close the session. See you next Sunday. Hari Om.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji.
Hari Om. Hari Om.